define what cybersecurity is. Subsequently, we would look at what are the assets that are at risk when we try and analyze or pursue cybersecurity. Subsequently, we will be discussing about some issues which are obvious and which are commonly encountered in today's day. We will try and have a further understanding of the institutions that provide education with respect to UG and PG programs in cybersecurity, certain eligibility criteria, and then how do we look at future of cybersecurity. In today's age, when the entire population is online, either in terms of education, in terms of business, or other personal needs, it becomes significant to protect our hardware, software, and data from cyber threats. The practice is used by individuals and enterprises to protect against unauthorized access to data centers and other computerized systems. We all are aware today that in this age of cybersecurity, the most significant asset of every individual is your personal details. That may be with respect to your financial activities, with respect to your other personal behavior, all that is significant. All youngsters today, or rather not youngsters, I would say even adults, are preferring to make purchases online. And when we try and make an online purchase, it is not natural that we need a mode to pay. And we are also aware that some of the online portals do not accept cash on delivery. Therefore, it becomes evident to share your credit card details. Therefore, we can think here as a user and trying to make an online purchase. She is oftenly, or he is, or any user is oftenly allured with various coupons, discounts, and other benefits when they make an online purchase. They usually use those coupons to get discounts when they make purchases online. After that, your details are shared in the payment gateway or rather through the payment gateway. And most of us usually are not aware whether we are with a genuine payment gateway or it is a fake entity. Therefore, the resultant happens that certain amount is deducted from our accounts and we receive a message that your account has been debited. If it is debited for a genuine reason, we have no problem, but here you can see in this figure, it is the amount has been debited from your account and has been credited to the hacker, which is not the intended idea of the purchase. Certain issues or contemporary issues that we have been encountering over the years, ransomware attacks. Very commonly, we know about 2 to 3 years early, this ransomware attack got a prominence under cyber threats, whereby the hacker used to include a malware link in some of the file that he shares with you, and we as users click on that link, and then it was observed that the most important files or most important documents residing in our computers used to get encrypted. And since those documents will be very personal, very private to me, I would want that it should be decrypted. And when I tell them to decrypt it, they would ask for a certain amount of ransom, and that ransom could be in terms of bitcoins or other currencies. Insider attack, most common. That's why the most common cybersecurity analysts actually are worried about people within the organization. That happens to be the most vulnerable point of attack when we talk about cybersecurity. Outdated hardware. If we use outdated hardware or software which does not have regular updates, we are making ourselves prone to cyber attacks. That's why in our mobiles, we know that very commonly you get a flash that your software update is available, kindly update your mobile now. It's a good practice to do it because what the companies do is regularly when they find a security vulnerability, they release a patch which can help the end user of the hardware or the software to prevent himself from that particular attack which has been patched for. Then software vulnerabilities. Software by default, all software, because costing of the software sometimes ensures that it's not a very quality software, and therefore it leaves in a lot of vulnerability or input points from where the hackers or the malware or the malicious users try and penetrate in your systems or your data centers and fetch your private information. Now, when I talk about data centers, that will be with respect to individuals, my files or my documents stored on my laptop or in the large data centers on the cloud or otherwise. Phishing attack, very common nowadays. Links sent to hackers, old age persons who are not cyber literate get or fall prey to that. They click that link, and rather than reaching the original sites or end point, they reach the hacker's server and give away the information. Cloud, very common. We all post our pictures, our important documents on cloud. Very commonly, all of us know Google provides us 15 GB of free storage, and most of our photographs, our Google Drive documents are all posted there. So it's easy, it's free of cost storage, but at a certain cost, which is availability or the vulnerability on the cybersecurity front. IoT, Internet of Things, getting very common today. All individuals, youngsters, and old age people putting on wearables on their wrist, monitoring their heartbeats, pulse rates, and other vital parameters. One can think if these vital parameters get manipulated, what will be the consequences? Eligibility happens to be for different courses. We take up the UG courses, often you need 50% marks with physics, chemistry, and maths in your 12th. Then some institutions after the UG can go from PG programs, whereby MTech in cybersecurity, MSc cybersecurity, whereby a graduation with a computer science application can be added advantage. Future of cybersecurity. Nobody in today's world can deny that cybersecurity or the online transactions, whether it's to the enterprises with respect to their education or on the personal front, are gaining momentum across all domains. Thereby, it's going to be certain that every organization will need to deploy cybersecurity specialists. Only then can they think of protecting their assets with respect to data centers, with respect to their networks, with respect to other private information about their employees, about their customers. So, scope is very large. And positions which are common. Cybersecurity analysts will analyze the entire cybersecurity framework and suggest what are the changes that need to be incorporated for well-being of the cybersecurity system. Security architects, they would say what sort of hardware configuration could you need in order to make your organization or the enterprise networks rigorous. Cybersecurity managers, from the networks to hardware to the policies, all that can come under the job role of these cybersecurity professionals. Organizations are mandated to have Chief Information Security Officer, that is CISO, with all organizations. Therefore, it is clearly obvious that security is gaining momentum and is going to be the future. Thank you.
Greetings everyone, welcome to Season 2 of Martiniere Career Fair. Today we will be interviewing an eminent personality in the field of cybersecurity to learn more about this career. With us today we have Lieutenant General Rajesh Pant, who is an internationally recognized cybersecurity expert, presently tenanting the prestigious appointment of National Cybersecurity Coordinator in the National Security Council Secretariat of India. In this capacity, he is responsible for coordinating all activities across multiple sectors to ensure a secure and resilient cyberspace within the nation. He holds a PhD degree for his research in the field of information security metrics. He is also MTech from IIT Kharagpur, MPhil from Madras University, and Master of Management Studies from Osmania University. Prior to this appointment, he was the head of Army's cyber training establishment for 3 years. He served in the Army Signal Corps for 41 years, where he was awarded 3 times by the President of India for distinguished service of the highest order. Consequent to his retirement, he was the chairman of a listed electronic company, peer review member of NAAC, and governing council member of IETE India. General Pant brings to the table an interesting mix of military operations, academic excellence, corporate governance, and cybersecurity wisdom. We are very sure that you're going to learn about the different facets that a career such as cybersecurity entails from this podcast.
Back more than 50 years, I am seeing myself also, sitting in where you were at one time. And in fact, spent the most formative years of my life from class 5 to class 11. 1963 to 1969 senior Cambridge batch in Martiniere. So thanks for having me here, and I look forward to our discussion.
So thank you so much for being here. And the first question that I'd like to ask you is that what is cybersecurity and what is the work of a cybersecurity personnel? It's a very up and coming career path which a lot of people are not aware of. So could you please help us understand this in a better way?
Yeah, sure. Before I answer that, let me first compliment Principal McFarland and Councillor Keshwani for organizing this careers fair. It was never there in our time and just shows how much the school has improved over the years. Let me also congratulate everyone on our 178th Foundation Day. It's a great event, and wish all the best to everyone. Hail, hail the name we own, as they say. So with that, now I come back to your question as to what is cybersecurity. And if you look around us, basically there are 5 domains: land, air, sea, space, and cyber. These are the sort of domains that are around us. And each of these domains needs to be protected. We want to be safe and secure, whether we are on land or air or sea, etc. So similarly, we want to be safe and secure in cyberspace. And what is cyberspace? Cyberspace is the interconnected network of hardware, of software, of data. It includes mobile networks, it includes submarine cable, it includes satellite communications, it includes all the things that are there in the social media, etc. So this is the space that now has to be kept safe and secure. And the method by which we keep cyberspace safe and secure is called cybersecurity. So basically, in cybersecurity, there are two verticals. There are the cybersecurity services and there are the cybersecurity products. So what does services means? That I can do education and awareness. That is also in service, trying to teach people what is good cyber hygiene, etc. Or I can carry out cyber audit of various industry and enterprises, or I can provide you managed services. That means I say that I will take care of your cybersecurity. So that is all part of the services, including the vulnerability assessment and the penetration testing and red teaming, etc. So this is one vertical, services. That means somebody is providing a service to you. The other vertical is what is called as the cybersecurity products. And this is the one that includes products like antivirus solutions, like endpoint detection and response, like all your network security products, how to make a router safe, how to make a switch safe, how to ensure that the information that is flowing through the network is encrypted, no one can tap and take your information. Then the data that is in the cloud, how to ensure that those cloud remain safe, etc. And then when I come to the industry, how do I protect my industrial network? So I have what is called as a firewall. There's a moat and a fort concept, something. You have an intrusion detection system, you have an intrusion prevention system, and then you have a security operations center. All that comes in the product side. So broadly, this is the expanse of cybersecurity, that it includes products and it includes services. And the training on that is all part of capacity building, etc.
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much for that answer. That included all the aspects that you wanted to, touch in this part of the question. So thank you. So my question to you is that, acknowledging the fact that you've served as the National Cybersecurity Coordinator in the National Security Council, and that has been done in multiple sectors, right? So, sir, my question based on that, how has your experience been while coordinating all the activities across the multiple sectors in order to ensure or secure resilient cyberspace within the nation?
So, firstly, let me explain about the National Security Council. Some of you may not be aware that the highest decisions of security within the nation are taken by a committee which is chaired by the Prime Minister, and it has 4 ministers as members. So it has the Ministry of Home Affairs, Defense, Finance and External Affairs. These 4 important ministries are there, and the Secretary General of this National Security Council is called the National Security Advisor. You may have heard the name of Mr. Ajit Doval, a very famous personality. So this is what constitutes the National Security Council. And to support the decision making of this council, we have the National Security Council Secretariat, where we have experts in strategic affairs, in internal affairs, in technical intelligence, etc. And I provide the inputs for cybersecurity in taking these decisions. Now, how do I coordinate? What all do I coordinate? It's a massive task. Any coordination, for that matter, is a very healthy thing to do, but it has to be done in the sense that I coordinate with the national agencies. So we have a Computer Emergency Response Team. We have Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. We have National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center. So some national agencies are there with whom I coordinate. Then there is the Defense Cyber Agency and the cyber diplomacy part of Ministry of External Affairs. So a number of ministries within the government of India are handling cybersecurity with whom I coordinate. Then with the states, in every state also there's a state-wide area network and their own cybersecurity apparatus. So the IT Secretary General in the state is handling that. So I deal with them. And then we have the sectors. So we have the power sector, we have the telecom sector, we have the aviation sector, the railways, etc. Each one of them has got a security operations center. So they are also very important because they are part of critical sectors. So I have to coordinate with them also. So the ministries, the states, the sectors, and finally international cooperation. So I deal with the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, various bilateral, plurilateral, regional, all these organizations that we have, like BRICS and SCO and BIMSTEC, etc. So that is the international cooperation part. So it's all coordination, and I am at the center. So it's a very important job that is being done here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for helping us understand that. I'd also like to ask you, holding a PhD degree for research in the field of information security metrics and being an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur, Madras University and Osmania University, what impact do you think that formal education holds, especially in a sector such as cybersecurity? And do you think that not having a formal education will hamper your growth in this career field?
No, formal education, I don't think there's any doubt as to what are the benefits that it has. Because some of you may recall, that famous trilateral of knowledge that I know and I know, I know and I don't know, and I don't know and I don't know. I know that I know is something that there is a field of knowledge called cybersecurity, and I know a little bit about cybersecurity. So I know and I know about cybersecurity. I know and I don't know means that I know there is a field of knowledge, let's say in medical science, but I do not know, what is that DNA sequencing all about. I don't know the details of that. So I know that there is a knowledge of medical, but I don't know the details of that. I don't know and I don't know means that I don't even know that that knowledge exists. And if I don't know that knowledge, then naturally I don't know anything about that. So what they say is that almost 40 to 50% of the total knowledge which is there in the universe is still in this I don't know and I don't know field. So there's lots for us to learn. Now, what do books tell you? Books tell you that this work has already been done by somebody else and he's written it down to proliferate it to the others. So when you read books, when you go through a formal education, you come to know as to what is the knowledge base that already exists in the world today. And after that, if you want to do research, then that is where you can now go into fields that are unknown. So in cybersecurity, there is a requirement for a lot of creativity and innovation. And that is where, if you have a good base of a formal education, then from there you can go into, and if you recall what Steve Jobs has also said in his biography, that it is a mix of arts and science that really leads to creativity. So there's no doubt how formal education helps. So any interdisciplinary knowledge that you can learn will be good, because today technology touches every facet of our lives. Every aspect of the divisions of knowledge have technology in them. And wherever there's technology, you need cybersecurity. So that is why, formal education creates a good base for cybersecurity. Thank you.
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much for that answer. So moving ahead, so my question to you is, what are the skills that the youth can foster while they are in school, and if they want to pursue the career such as going for cybersecurity or any career related in the future?
Yeah, that's also a very important question. And what is important in this is that the development of good cyber hygiene. As early as you can learn it, it is better. And what is good cyber hygiene? It involves use of, say, strong passwords. Don't download unnecessary apps because they take a lot of data. Don't click on links that you are unsure of. Don't forget to update your software. Be very careful by using social media. Don't upload your photographs, etc. Unnecessarily information. So these are the aspects of cyber hygiene which you must develop at the earliest, and also learn the ethics of good cybersecurity. I can recommend you to one portal that is www.isacindia.org. ISAC. It's an information sharing and analysis center, and they have training for people who are 9+ years also and 13+ years also on basically creating a cyber aware netizen. So that is one advice I can give. You can go to their portal and see, and they tell you what are the good ethics of cybersecurity. Finally, I would also recommend that as you grow up, you must learn at least one programming language. If you want to be in the field of cybersecurity, especially if you want to go and understand what are the different types of malware and try and think of some reverse engineering, etc. So learning of one programming language, they say, in the field of cybersecurity is very, very helpful. Besides, the large number of courses that are available, etc. So this is what I would say at the moment. That and let me also tell you, as per the new education policy, we have added a lot of curriculum at the school level, at the secondary level, and higher education level. So throughout, you'll be learning about cybersecurity. Thanks.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for that answer. And here I would like to also make every viewer understand how important sir mentioned it is to learn a programming language at this point in time if you want to move ahead with anything related to cybersecurity. Second, also, just to reiterate on the point which sir talked about, ISAC, the website, we hope all the viewers surely go ahead and take a glimpse of that website, because of course, we never knew that a 9-year-old child would be able to understand such concepts. Therefore, let's surely go ahead and check that out. Thank you so much, sir.
So, with everything going digital now, the need for cybersecurity is growing faster than ever. So, what are your predictions for cybersecurity as a career in the next 20-30 years? How important do you think that this career is going to be, and what role is it going to play in the society, in the future society?
So, let me tell you, I went to a university very recently to give a talk, and there it's a technical university, and there they told me that the BTech course in cybersecurity is today their most popular course. And this is not only in one place, I've seen it in a number of places. So that is the importance people are giving to careers in cybersecurity. Having said that, let us understand what is going to happen, let's say, in the next 10 years with the changes, the technological changes that are foreseen in the next 10 years. So firstly, the 5G is coming in. The 5G, as you know, in our country is being launched from October onwards. And that will connect the IoT devices, the Internet of Things devices, like the surveillance cameras, your fans, lights, Alexa, etc. All that will be connected to the network. So if there are 5 billion users of mobile phones today in the world, there are already 25 billion IoT devices waiting to get connected. So the cyberspace is going to expand exponentially in the next 2 to 3 years. From 5 billion, it is going to go to 30 billion. So that is one change. Second is that the industrial IoT, as it is called in the industry 4.0, there's going to be a lot of automation. So robots are coming in, there's going to be a lot of machines, cobotics will be there. So industrial IoT will expand. Then in the space, you might have heard that there is a constellation of low Earth orbit satellites. There is a OneWeb constellation by this Bharti and UK. There is a Starlink constellation by Elon Musk's team. There is Kuiper, etc. Various constellations are there. So in the space sector also, there's a new network coming up, which was not there so far. It is going to provide you with a very high speed connectivity wherever you are in the world. So space is there, 5G is coming, quantum is coming. Quantum computers have the ability to break the existing cryptography. So whatever we feel is confidential, like in WhatsApp, you keep hearing it is encrypted end to end. But if anyone has a quantum computer, he'll be able to break that encryption. So your confidentiality will also go. Then artificial intelligence is coming in. And of course, there is metaverse. Metaverse, you all have heard as to how you wear those goggles and then go wherever you want. And there are digital identities in that. So again, there will be a requirement of how do you make the metaverse cyber secure. So what we see in the technological changes, everything will demand a very high level of cybersecurity, and including the cloud services, because people are using the cloud service providers for all their solutions. So, but that has to be protected. So how do you protect the data which is in the cloud? How do you protect the data which is in the network? So without cybersecurity, I don't think any industry, any government would be able to survive. And you heard of recent cases where even governments have been put to ransom. It's happened in Puerto Rico, it's happened in 2-3 countries where a group of threat actors has now put an entire government system under ransomware attack. So cybersecurity is going to become more and more important, and there is, I don't think, any doubt as to the importance of it as a career.
Thank you so much, sir, for helping us understand that. So you talked about the metaverse, for example. You talked about WhatsApp's end-to-end encryption. These are certain things that we do know. However, we don't understand the importance of that, and we don't really know how essential cybersecurity is. So could you please help us understand, as an individual and on an individual level, what importance does it hold to actually acquaint yourself with the knowledge of cybersecurity?
See, all of us carry a mobile phone these days, and every day we have a portal for financial cybercrime called cybercrime.gov.in. Every day there are 3,500 people who are losing money because of either clicking on the wrong link or giving out their OTPs or falling for that trick when someone tells you that your electricity will be cut off or your KYC has not been done. You please click on this link. So cybersecurity is important for every individual. And I'm just talking of your personal finances. If you work in an industry, it has a different thing. While the COVID research was going on, there were so many attacks of countries trying to steal the data of research. So there are data thefts taking place. So individuals are affected, enterprises are affected, business is affected, sectors are affected, and nations are affected. You have heard, 2010 what happened in Iran. There's a very famous cyber attack called the Stuxnet attack, where the attack was in a nuclear facility. And just by cyber, they could create such a massive damage in the nuclear facility. 6,000 of those rods for enrichment, they got burnt out because they changed the program of that rod was spinning, and they made sure that it did not stop spinning. And then we've heard of cyber attacks in the recent conflict in Europe, that the war started with a cyber attack on the power sector. We've heard of ransomware attacks in the United States, the famous Colonial Pipeline case, which supplies 40% of gas to the US East Coast. So now it is not a small issue, it has become a national security issue. So right from the individual getting affected to the nation getting affected. That is the spectrum of cybersecurity. And I want to end with my 2 famous mantras for survival in the digital world. One, that personal hygiene is going to become very important. Second is cyber hygiene is going to become very important. So if you want to survive in the digital world of the future, it has to be personal hygiene and cyber hygiene. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that answer. Now, sir, since you brought in a few mantras which you yourself use, so based on that, I want to ask you a question as to how your personal experience has been with this particular field. Like, since you started off at a point in time, since then, how have you feel once you entered this field and while entering this field?
No, it's been a very satisfying journey because, I belong to a generation when we joined the army, many decades back. I remember we had a telephone where you had to rotate a handle like this. It was a magnetotelephone. That's how we used to send, the ring across to the other end. So from that age to now, the present high-tech age, it's been a fantastic journey. And then the best part is that when you learned communications then you knew how to counter the communications. It was only an expert of communications who could counter the communications. So I came into the field of electronic warfare. And then as technology changed and went more towards the IT sector, computers came in, etc. So naturally, a person who understood this sector knew how to defend it. Because unless you know how the attacks take place, you cannot defend. Unless you know what is the capability of your adversary to attack you, you cannot plan to safeguard and save yourself or your enterprise or the nation. So it's been a continuous progression, and I don't think I can be a more satisfied person today with the journey that we've had over the years. But I must go back to 1963 and thank Martiniere for giving me the confidence to face, the people. And let me tell you, what Martiniere teaches is not just bookish education. It teaches you the education of life, how to stand up, and if you fall down, how do you get up and again rise and go further. And today, when I give presentations to Prime Minister and Home Minister, I'm sure there's an element of what I learned in Martiniere that helps me gives a very convincing and a confident answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. It was quite pleasant to know your experience, how you have worked in cybersecurity, and how, especially how Martiniere has helped you. Because studying at Martiniere, of course, it feels like a privilege, and we're incredibly grateful to you that you help us understand the importance of cybersecurity. Sir, I'd also like to know, you talked about the different avenues, the different career fields within cybersecurity that a person can pursue. Could you please help us understand what are the different courses that are available for as a formal education to take up cybersecurity as a career?
So one are the courses that are being offered by the technical institutes, as I mentioned. So today in all the IITs, in your NIIT and other institutes, private institutes also, there is a BTech course, a proper 4-year BTech course on cybersecurity. There are these short courses, there are diploma courses. So those are the formal courses in the technical institutes. Besides that, there are certifications. So you have a certification by CISSP, you have a certification OSCP. So there are various agencies which are giving you these certifications. In fact, some Indian universities now have started the CISO courses. I know the Rashtriya Raksha University, a new university, they have started a program of Cyber Information Chief Information Security Officer CISO course, which is also a very important course. So at all levels, these courses are there. Diploma level, graduation level, post-graduation level, as well as these certified courses for various disciplines. So I can lead you to some websites where these courses are there and guide someone with the right inclination. Thank you.
Well, right, sir. Thank you so much. So the final question for today, sir, is as a person of immense eminence in the field of cybersecurity, what would you like to say to the aspirants who want to make a career in the same field?
So I think I've said this earlier also, but considering the changes in technology that are going to come in the next 10 to 20 years, there is no doubt that there is going to be a great demand for a cybersecurity professional. And I am seeing it today when I interact with my industry friends that they are not able to get the people that they want. And in the government, some of the people that we had for cybersecurity, it's not a good thing, but they are leaving us because they are getting such good pay outside in the private sector. So the point of inflection has already started as far as careers in cybersecurity are concerned. And this will remain at least for the next 20 to 30 years. I'm very sure of it, that in all the fields that I mentioned, both in the services side as well as in the product side, and the range of products and the new products will keep coming. And then it will require a lot of innovation. And the government of India, as you know, has focused on this Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme. So a lot of focus is being given to development within the country. And I think it's absolutely safe for anyone to venture in this field and be assured of a good career. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. We're incredibly grateful to you, as I previously mentioned, for giving off your time so readily to be on Careers Fair. And I'm sure that you have inspired a lot of young people to take up cybersecurity. You've helped them understand the importance of the different avenues that fields as cybersecurity offers. Thank you so much, sir, and I hope to see you soon.